Hello, welcome to another tarot reading. I'm going to be doing a reading for Capricorn for June 2018. If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and click notifications. So I'm going to be using my three decks, which is the Oracle deck, the Dreams of Gaia deck and the Art of Tarot deck. So first of all, I will draw for Capricorn the Oracle card. And the Oracle card is Be Patient. Next, I will draw the Dreams of Gaia. Sorry, that's me. And next, I will draw from the Art of Tarot. Okay. So first of all, the Oracle card is Be Patient. The Oracle card gives some further advice for the whole month about an overall message for the month, about the energy that needs to be borne in mind. So it says, now is not the time to act. It's a time to show self-restraint, patience, wait. If you let your impatience for an outcome to a situation manifest now, you could end up getting an outcome that is less to your liking than otherwise would be. Just trust that everything will turn out as it is meant to be, when it is meant to do so. Be still. Let go of all frustration and impatience. Remember that good things come to those who wait. So the first Dreams of Gaia for this month is abundance. Trust is also a key word for this card, as is faith. There's an indication that trust and faith are both required at this time at the beginning of the month. The Art of Tarot that is drawn to match this card is a Cups card, an emotional card reversed, a Two of Cups. Okay, this indicates a testing time, that there may be an issue this week with a friendship or a romantic relationship. Communication may break down here. Separation could be indicated, an end perhaps, or a temporary, not necessarily a permanent one, emotional separation. There could be a sense of betrayal, where perhaps confidences have not been kept. There's an advice to delay committing too much, emotionally committing to a relationship at this time. So the first week of June, you may feel it's best to withdraw a little bit emotionally, or there may be a bit of uncertainty about the trustworthiness of somebody in your life at this time. Okay, there may be somebody involved in this relationship who may not be treating the other people involved in a way that they would like to be treated in return. A lack of generosity, a generosity of spirit. It could mean that one person in a relationship is being generous of spirit, but the other person isn't receiving this or isn't behaving in return in quite the same way. The advice is for you to embody a way of thinking of abundance. Now, this is a kind of abundance that isn't reliant on having material wealth. It's a state of mind, that you have abundance in spirit. You have you look at life as in an appreciative way for what you do have, rather than what you don't or what you think you don't. You appreciate you having the things that you need, rather than not appreciating the fact that you don't have what you want. Be generous. Be generous to others, because generosity isn't necessarily, I don't mean giving money away, but simply being generous with your time, with your appreciation, with your emotions, with your spirit, because that then has a ripple and out effect to others. It also makes you feel happier. It makes you feel better in who you are and where you are in your life. Abundance doesn't only mean being generous to others, it means being generous to yourself. And in many respects, this is even more important than being generous to others. It's difficult to be generous to others when you are lacking. It's difficult to help support others with generosity of love and spirit if your health is being sacrificed. Charity begins at home for a reason. You need to look after yourself, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health. All of intertwined, all affect each other, in order to be able to have an abundance consciousness. So make sure that you are looking after yourself primarily first. And in this week, the indication is that in order to do that, you may need to step back emotionally from a friendship or a partnership, temporarily or permanently, in order to protect your own emotional and physical health. Avoid committing emotionally to any new relationships during this week. Assess the situation. Don't allow if you are feeling betrayed or suspecting that somebody isn't as trustworthy or is not as they seem, simply assess the situation in a more detached manner before making a decision. So the second week, we have the Six of Air, the Six of Air is reversed. And this is combined with the Hierophant reversed. Okay, this is connected to the first week, so this situation is bleeding through into the second week and possibly becoming a little more clearer here. There's a situation here in this friendship or a partnership of some form where the rumor mill is going on a little bit here, and unfortunately you seem to be the victim here, or at least That's probably not the right word, but the focus of this. There are half-truths, rumours spinning about. Everything basically but the whole truth, it says. Things are being possibly being taken out of context. There is a definite sense of an us versus them attitude here, where you are one or the other. There's a divide. There may be two camps, or if it's a group of friends, there may be two camps going to be informed here. There's definitely a divisive energy in this situation. Information may be kept from you as well, and what you're hearing is not the whole truth. Basically, there's politics involved. There's a little bit of political mongering happening here. Be very cautious about people trying to gain your favor by treat information that's being given to you and coming to you with skepticism. Don't take it on face value. Don't assume you understand someone's intentions, because there's a warning here that you may not really understand what the intentions are at this time. That somebody may be cozying up to you, pretending to be your friend or on your side, when actually that's not actually what's going on. There is some advice for you as well, that we are all human and we all have different perspectives, and just because somebody else sees things differently to ourselves doesn't mean they're wrong. Similarly, you're not wrong for seeing things differently. And we tend to have, as humans, we tend to have a tendency to view, if somebody has a perception different from ourselves, as them not, as that automatically not being as good as our own way to look at things. There's advice here that it's time to start embracing the differences between us. So start to appreciate others simply because they are different. Being generous of spirit to others, even though that difference in the way they think and feel and behave can cause us upset and inconvenience. They still deserve to be appreciated because of the lessons that can teach us in life about ourselves and others, if for nothing else. Try to avoid getting too emotionally upset at this time with this situation. Start to view it, if you can, from almost like an outside perspective, so that you can see the right on both sides as well as the wrong on both sides. Because we are all human, we all make mistakes. We're usually not 100%. In fact, I'll say we're virtually never 100% accurate or right. Try to understand another person's perspective here. Try to understand not only how you would think and feel and behave in their situation, but try to understand why they think, feel, and behave as they do from their perspective, their life experience, of at least as far as you can understand it. Even if it's difficult to understand, simply acknowledge that that is the case. That you may not understand why somebody feels the way they do, but you acknowledge the fact that they do, and those feelings are genuine as your own. This will try to help to avoid an escalation of this situation into as the Oracle card said, it will avoid this situation manifesting into a reality that really isn't to your liking. As the Oracle card advises this month, take a step back and be patient. So the third card for the third week is the Maiden. Okay. And that is being matched with a reversed the Emperor. Okay, so okay, the energy of this week, the advice for the third week of the month, is for you to do a lot of self-reflection. How would you like this situation to be resolved? What kind of reality would you like for this to turn into for you and those around you? Imagine how you would like this situation to come to an end, and what the situation to be at the end of it. And then think about what steps need to be taken in order to attain that, in order to achieve that. The advice of this week isn't for you to really act at this time as such. It's maybe to take the first steps once you are sure what those steps should be. Act with mindfulness if you are going to act this week, if you are going to take steps to resolve the situation. Be very careful what you're saying and how you're doing. See the potential results of those before you actually do them. If you're not sure, then wait, do a bit more self-reflection. Find out a bit more information if you can. There's an indication here that there is somebody involved who's really lost a sense of perspective on this. Perhaps they are overreacting very emotionally. Perhaps they are really taking things out of context. Almost a tyrannical energy. Somebody who has or had power in this relationship has become almost like a tyrant, a dominating force, their way or the highway. However, that could have been or be you. If that is you, if you do some self-reflection and you realize that perhaps you have been a little domineering, that you have been a little power hungry, that perhaps your behavior, even if it was inadvertent, has caused a feeling of subservience and oppression in others, then that's okay. It's not. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying forgive yourself, but self-reflect on it. Use mindfulness to understand why you may have behaved in that way so that you can prevent yourself from doing so in the future. Usually look to your past, as though these behaviors are generated from past experiences and how we reacted to them. And then we tend to keep repeating habitually the same cycle of behaviors in different situations, but similar situations that have similar connotations to the original one, where we learnt that that behavior had a successful outcome for us in the past. So in the third week, although you're still being patient, definitely start asking questions, looking ahead, planning your steps, but make sure to do so not in a domineering and tyrannical fashion, not in the energy or the mindset that you are right and everyone else is wrong. Remember the cards for the previous week. That try to avoid an us versus them attitude. Because that is really not going to be helpful in this situation, and it could cause it to become worse than it otherwise could be. So the fourth week, we've got the healing card. And that's been coupled with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles reverse indicates issues at home, domestic issues, relating to finances or money or something about materialism, perhaps possessions. There's an indication that someone is guilty of being a little bit irresponsible with their pennies. There's also an energy perhaps that somebody may covet, may want what you have. Or perhaps you are wanting what somebody else has. Okay, there's the healing card suggests that there is an issue here with how you in the past have been responding and behaving towards others, especially in relationships. That doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. It can be any kind of relationship. But as the Art of Tarot is indicating something in your domestic life, I would suggest this is a relationship affecting your home life in some fashion. Many of these cards are indicating that there is a general theme here that somebody has been treating others, being a bit tyrannical, bossy, being a bit domineering. There's an imbalance of power in a relationship, and that they, because of this breakdown in communication, there is a tendency for them to create or help to create an us and them divisive attitude. This may be you. So this is a time to learn from this. If you find that you accept that, yes, you have been behaving a little bit in this way, this cards also indicate that now is the time to forgive, that now's the time to change the future. As the card of the week before suggested, and perhaps by this point in the month, you'd already realised that this was the case. that this is an opportunity for you to change this behavior, to change it for the future. And that's going to be necessary for the survival and the health of this relationship long term. Forgive yourself, understand that everyone's human, and forgive the other members of this relationship and those affecting it as well. They also are only human. They too could have been embodying this energy and this behavior. It could be from all sides. It's time to let go of the past at this point. This card indicates that the past is a past. It's something to be learnt on. It's something to be learnt from. But it's not something that we should dwell over much on. Once we have learnt the lesson, once we have seen the issue, then it's time to be proactive and mindful and change it for the future. And for that, you should be proud of yourself for being able to do that, for actually trying to do that. Perhaps this imbalance is to do with finances, that there is a financial dispute in a romantic partnership here. Perhaps one person has, or both parties have different perspectives on how and whom should be in control of the finances. Perhaps one has more than the other, and there is a little bit of desire from one to take from the other. Perhaps one feels that they're having to give more, invest more financially into relationship. Perhaps they're not appreciating that there is many forms of investment in relationships, not just financial. Whatever the case may be, the overall advice for this month is to be patient for the first part of the month. Is to do a lot of self-reflection on your own perspectives, your own behaviors this month. And from that, help you to understand those of the other members involved. This could be a financial dispute. It's definitely based on a materialism in some way. It's indicated as likely to be something that's occurring in the home or strongly related to your domestic life. Be careful of your health, because stress, anxiety, emotional upset will affect your health. The advice is to look after yourself primarily this month, to ensure your body is having everything it needs so that your mind can work clearly and logically, so that you can work through this problem for the best possible outcome. By the middle, towards the end of the month, between the middle and the end of the month, around about the third week, it's going to be time when you're going to have enough information to start really understanding what's going on and start to be able to plan ahead. Plan the steps you need to take to help resolve and manifest the best outcome from this that you can imagine. Be careful of the information you're being given by others, though. Don't just assume it's accurate. Don't just assume you understand their motives, especially in the first couple of weeks of the month. So overall, this is a learning month for Capricorns. This is a month where it's an opportunity, if you choose to take it, and you don't have to, but it's an opportunity for you to be able to learn a lot from this month about yourself primarily. But ultimately, if you do that, if you go through that process, and yes, it can be a painful process, but nobody likes to learn about the less desirable aspects of us, but they are necessary for us to be human. If we didn't have them, we would never learn. If we didn't make mistakes, we would never understand how not to make those mistakes. Understanding ourselves is to understand others. we need those aspects of ourselves. They're not necessarily bad. They are necessary and vital aspects of being human, and everybody has them. And this month is going to give you the opportunity to forgive yourself and others, and to manifest a new, better, and improved version of this relationship. One built on equality, one where power is shared equally, where there is mutual respect and understanding at a deeper level. Appreciate this relationship at its core value. Learn to understand what it brings you, rather than, especially this month, rather than focusing on any of the issues that are coming up because of a situation with this relationship. Don't focus on how it's making or causing you stress this month. Focus on, instead, on the benefits of it overall. Appreciate the other person for who they are, warts and all, because they are you. They are a reflection of you. They are simply you in another body with another set of life experience. Always remember that. But also apply those to yourself as well. Appreciate yourself, warts and all. Because you are unique and you are divine. You are exactly who you are meant to be at this time. And this month is exactly the month that is meant to happen at this time. This guidance can help you steer through to create and manifest a best possible outcome to this, with the least amount of stress, with the least amount of upset. Okay, and I think that's it. So I hope this is helpful to you, Capricorns, this month. I'm sure that you will be able, with this advice, if you take it, to be able to improve this relationship, whatever relationship it's going to be for you as an individual in your life. But the outcome of this, I genuinely believe you'll be pleased about. Even if at first it doesn't seem that way, you will come to understand it was as it was meant to be. Just embody the nature and energy of patience, and everything will come out as it should. Have faith, trust in fate, and trust in yourself. Okay. If you've liked this, then please like, share, subscribe. I'll be back soon with another tarot reading for another sign for this month. Until then, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.